Um,
Oh
is it
shit.
chatting?
I gotta change my caption at the bottom. Message to spectators, I gotta change that. Change it to ghetto ghetto. I have no idea, mate. Audio. All of my audio settings are checked off, so I don't know. Maybe it's just low. Your mic is just low, I guess. I don't know. Alright.
Yeah, I can't fucking hear jack shit.
You serious?
I'm serious. I can hear your voice, but like mine is like super, super faint in the background.
Well, maybe you're just not as important as I am.
Oh, wait, I can hear myself now.
Are you sure? Or are you just like giving yourself false
I'm
hope?
No, I'm watching it right now.
Well, anyway. What do I say? Oh, good evening, YouTube. It's been a while since I did a deck profile because I don't really believe I'm that good of a duelist anymore, but I put together a fun deck just like the last one. Um, as you can see from the title, it is a frog deck, and a lot of people run frogs a certain way, but I decided to run it my way because I'm me and you're not me. So, so yeah, this is the deck, 40 card standard. I have some extra shit in here too. You don't have to copy them, but I will like highlight them just in case you want these cards. But these are just like just extra, as the title
When are you gonna
says.
introduce me?
Ugh. Mike is here too. Say hi, Mike.
What's up, people? I'm munching on some Pringles.
Yeah,
Don't
he's
mind the
being
crunching.
fat. Hello, Zeno.
What up, Zeno?
Um, so yeah, for the deck profile, I'm just gonna just walk through the cards and why I have it in there and why it works and what the combos are and all that shit. And I have a drink because I'm about to lose my voice. I already know it. So
Yeah, because we don't know what happened last time.
yeah, definitely. Whenever that was, like fucking last time I posted. Uh, okay, let's start with the spell cards. So I have Death's Croaking, and as you can see, you activate this when you have 3 Death Frogs out on the field, and it basically nukes the whole, well, your opponent's field. And I'll get to Death Frogs later, but this is basically a good nuking card. I only run 2 because running 3 would probably be a little not good because you don't want to draw into this too much. So I feel like running 2 is the best bet. Now we have Fusion Substitute. This card is always treated as polymerization, so any spell cards or trap cards that refer to polymerization, this will be considered as the regular polymerization too, even if it's in the graveyard. So you can fusion summon a monster from your extra deck using monsters listed in the materials. And what makes this special is you can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard and return it to the extra deck, then draw 1 card. So it's really good. So if your fusion monster gets destroyed, you can back, and you can draw a card. So that's really, really, really good. I'm only running 2 of that as well because this deck is not really focusing on fusion as much because I'm only going to fuse 1 monster, and that's the big Death Frog. And you know, you just need 3 Death Frogs to make him. He gets an attack bonus based on how many tree burn frogs you have in your graveyard. So I'm only running him just because I feel like I should include him. So not really a big deal, but it's just fun to have him in the deck anyway. Next we have Infernal Reckless Summon, which is when exactly 1 monster with 1500 or less attack is special summoned to your side of the field while your opponent controls a face-up monster. Your opponent chooses 1 face-up monster they control, and you can special summon all the cards who have that same name. So this refers back to Death Frog. So most of my monsters, most of my frogs all have the name Death Frog. So if they're in the graveyard or I special summon one whose name is Death Frog, then I can get 3 Death Frogs on the field easy. And that'll help me fusion summon into the bigger Death Frog. So, but, you know, downside to that is the opponent can also special summon monsters who have the same name in their deck as well. So it is pretty much reckless as the name states. Pot of Duality is just for draw power. Just so I can, like, I don't know, just get a card. I might take it out, I might not, I'm not sure yet, but it's pretty good to have. Terraforming is literally just for getting wetlands, and I don't really know if wetlands should even be in this deck, but it does give the weaker frogs in the deck a good power boost or attack boost. So it's pretty good to have because it's really good because it gives all the level 2 ones like a good attack boost. So I think I will keep it in there, but I just changed it to only 2 and not 3 and just ran a terraforming. So like I feel like it might change, I'm not sure, but running it 2 so far has been good for me. I just added 3 Fiendish Chains just to lock down any like heavy hitting monsters. I haven't run into the problem of people using like strong normal monsters like Blue Eyes White Dragon or anything, but Fiendish Chain is a good trap to have. I was thinking of other ones, I couldn't really think of any, but you know, it basically locks down an effect monster. They can't use their effects and they can't change their position, and this card goes away if the monster it's tying down is gone as well. So easy. And then we have Froggy Force Field, which is basically Mirror Force for frogs and only for frogs. So don't expect this to, you know, nuke any attack position monsters on their opponent's side, because it'll only work if you have a frog and it's being attacked. So excuse me, burp. And it will only work for frogs, so you know, easy. Here we have Fusion Reserve. Reveal 1 fusion monster in your extra deck. Add 1 fusion materials listed on the card from your deck to your hand. Then you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. So this will allow you to add like 1 monster listed in the material. So 1 Death Frog in this case from your deck to your hand, and then you can add 1 polymerization, aka fusion substitute, to your hand. So this is a good searcher card for one of the frog monsters and to get fusion substitute to your hand quickly. And I literally just added this, and I haven't drawn into it yet because I literally just made this like 10 minutes ago, but I feel like this would really work. I was running this in another deck, I forgot which one it was. I think it was a Fluffles, but like it'll come in handy. I know it because I did it, so yeah. Stormy Mirror Force is really, really good. Basically works like Mirror Force, but instead of destroying the monsters, you return them to the hand. So coming across like special summon monsters or XYZ monsters, you'll completely put them back into the extra deck and stuff, and really just make it harder for the other person to get them back on the field. Or if it was a tributed monster, it'll be harder for them to put it back on the field. But it's something that will really inconvenience them and make them have to like think of a different way of summoning whatever they have in their hand. So plus I have Flip Flop Frog in here, but I'll get to him in a minute. Oh shit, that was a traps. There you go. Okay, now I'm getting to the monsters. First one we got is BLZ Frog, and he gains an attack boost based on how many tadpoles you have in your graveyard. And I will get to tadpoles in a minute, like everything else. So yeah, he's just you don't really need to have BLZ Frog, but I feel like he's pretty well off in the deck so far, and I just wanted to have a lot of frogs in here, so I just decided to include him. And now we have Death Frog, which is like one of the main focus of the deck. And so Death Frog is a level 5 monster, so you need to tribute him. And his effect is the more tadpoles you have in your graveyard, the more of him you'll be able to summon. So if you have at least 2 tadpoles in your graveyard and you tribute summon one Death Frog, you can grab the other 2 from your deck or in your hand, and you can just special summon the other 2 easy. You'll have all 3 Death Frogs on your field, and that will give you the opportunity to use Death Croaking if you have it, or Fusion Substitute if you have it. Go right ahead and fusion into the big Death Frog, or go into your XYZs down here to summon something. I'll get to them in a minute too. And just overall just have like a freaking 3 strong 1900 attack point monsters. Easy. For some support we have Dupe Frog, and most of these frogs are not good with attack, but they have a really high defense. Dupe Frog is running 2000 defense, really weak attack points, but it's not that bad. Dupe Frog's main focus really is if it's destroyed, you can basically search out another frog monster in your deck and special summon it. So, like, I think face down, I'm not sure. I really don't feel like reading this whole thing. But, yeah. I think most of the time I usually use Dupe Frog to get Flip Flop Frog or to get Swap Frog. Okay, Mike. And I'll get to him in a minute too. But yeah. Dupe Frog is literally for searching. Flip Flop Frog, as the name states, he can basically send other monsters back to the hand if he's flipped. But if you have more frogs on your field too, he will flip more. He would send more monsters from the field back to the opponent's hand. So if I have Dupe Frog and let's say Swap Frog on the field as well with him, then I can send back 3 monsters to the opponent's hand. So that's pretty good. Ronin Toadin is a toad basically, but while he's on the field and in the graveyard, his name, well, on the field I think his name is treated as Death Frog. And what his deal is, if he's in the graveyard and you have another frog monster, say Flip Flop Frog, you can banish this card and then special summon him from the graveyard in whatever position you like, attack or defense. I suggest defense since he's 2000. And yeah, you can literally recycle your frogs in the graveyard to just keep special summoning Ronin Toadin. And I ran 3 of him because he's really important. So say you don't have any more frogs, like you're running low on frogs overall, and you have Ronin Totems in here, and they're staying on the field because they have a really high defense. And if you have 3 Ronin Totems, their name is treated as Death Frog in the field, so you can still go into using Fusion Substitute or Death Croaking the same way, because their names are basically Death Frog still. Now I have Submarine Frog. No real reason. He gets an attack boost. I think, well, if he attacks a defense position monster, he inflicts the difference as battle damage. But with Wetlands, he gets a good attack boost. I believe he gets about 2400 or 2200 afterwards, so that's really, really good. So he's just an extra frog to have in a deck. He's not that important. So here we have Swap Frog. He's really, really important for searching. If you have like a tadpole in your hand or a Ronin Toadin in your hand, you can special summon him by throwing one of them in the graveyard first and then summoning him. And then while you summon him, you can also send another card from your deck to the graveyard as just an additional effect. So if I had a tadpole in my hand and I special summon Swap Frog by sending him into the graveyard, I can find the other one in my deck and send that one in the graveyard as well, and then I'll have 2 in the graveyard. So whenever I draw into Death Frog, I can literally get my 3 Death Frogs when I first summon the first one. So that's really, really convenient and good. And once you summon him, you can also choose another frog on any other frog in your graveyard as ammunition for Ronin Totem to like keep coming back if it dies. So that's really, really good, and he's really, really important. And now to Tadpole, nothing really besides being materials for Death Frog. Tadpole doesn't really do much, but if one is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can search for the other one in your deck and then have it put in your hand and let it get destroyed too, shit, because that's all they're good for. I have Trade Toad in here. I'm only running 1, even though he has good defense. Once per turn, you can tribute another frog monster, and Xeno, there's no specific limit to having trap cards. Like, you can literally have a whole deck full of trap cards, which I do kind of have. People usually run like generally 40 cards because that's just a good like estimate to have. Like, I can go over 40 cards and like run a 50 card deck or a 44. Just 40 is just the max, is just the minimum amount of cards to have, but I think 40 is good enough that'll allow me to draw into everything fairly and evenly, and I get what I need the most. Because if you